Hello, hi, my name is Deborah Glasgow and this channel is BiblosGlasgow Jewellery. This video today I'm talking about how I started making jewellery as a jewellery maker metalsmith, my designs from the beginning, the materials I worked with at the beginning, and how I evolved into upcycling and then base metals and plating them in yellow gold. So do keep following this video. I hope you like and subscribe, and yes, looking forward to talking with you. So how I started, originally when I started working at Selfridges and Co, I was there for 3 years, and while I was there I learnt retail, and I came across a concession space in the department store, and my colleagues that I worked with, they told me, Deborah, you should look at these materials and maybe you can make something with it. And with the help and support of my team in Selfridges, I started mixing these Brazilian beads and sequins and started to create jewelry. And at that time I was self-taught. I didn't know anything about working with my hands. At St. Martin's I studied product design, not jewelry, so it was new to me when I started working with the beads and the sequins from the concession space at Selfridges. So yeah, it was exciting because it was birthed, the jewelry design was birthed from first from God, and then it was encouraged at Selfridges and Co, where they motivated me and told me, get these materials, see what you can do with them. And I'd be forever thankful to my team for encouraging me to create with my hands the jewelry. So some of the things that bracelet, and basically it was white, it was pure white, but I dyed it with tea bags and I created a vintage look and made it look more antique. So I was experimenting at that stage, even as a starter, just at the beginning, to see what I could do with lace. These are Swarovski beads that I worked with, and glass beads, and to create this bracelet. So this is one of the first designs that I created from the beginning. As I grew more confident, I started doing wire wrapping. Example, I wire wrapped these glass beads, the beautiful color red, and I created from the antique bronze, I created these this bangle. So it was the wire wrapping technique that I was doing at this first stage. And yeah, this is another kind of piece that shows my development into working in another technique with my hands. And I started to think of ways of setting stones, how to have stones set in rings, just experimenting with them. And in this ring, it was created from wire, brass wire, and I set the stone into the cage of the ring. And instead of using maybe a prong setting, I actually created a cage for the stone for that ring. And so this was experimenting with setting stones. And yeah, I'm quite proud that that I was curious about how to set in stones. And then after a few years, I started to study more seriously. After I left Selfridges, I started to study jewellery manufacture at Holt's Academy in Hatton Garden. So my degree is in product design from Central St. Martin's, but I started to properly study jewellery manufacturer in Hatton Garden I made this ring. It's a sterling silver ring, and they took you through the whole process of annealing and soldering and creating your own ring, which I wear all the time. I love, wearing pieces that I know have a value to me, that this ring, was something that helped me grow as a designer. And then there's these other two that I made from sterling silver on the course, the jewellery manufacture course. And yeah, so these sterling silver rings I made, shaping them on the ring mandrel. And yeah, so I'm so kind of wanting to encourage other people that you can start just making with any material, any form, and create whatever design you want. There's no limit to the medium that you may use. And as you can see, I was wire wrapping and working with lace, and then as I developed, I started to create more confidently. And this is a pendant that I found. It wasn't originally a pendant. This is just a bronze spike, and it's was in Clerkenwell that I found it, and in a home decor store. And I said, why don't I make that into a pendant? And it's become an important part of my brand, in showing how you can find a piece and turn it into a pendant and turn it into a piece of who you are. And whether you want to be a jewelry designer, or whether you just want to work with your hands at home, because every time you create something new with your hands, and then you see the finished piece, it gives a sense of satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. And this is another ring that I produced from wax. I've worn it several times in the past and had good comments about it. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite designs. So as you can see, going from this lace and then expanding into the wire wrapping, I then grew into working with metals and casting. And so it was quite an organic and natural development and growth into working in base and noble metals. The base metals would be cast and then plated in 18 karat yellow gold. This is another ring that I started to make. It's slightly old finish, because I've had it for many years. It's plated 18 karat yellow gold. Yeah, so I engraved it here myself. So that's what I was doing as I was growing as a designer, just experimenting. And this is one of the other pieces that I started off wire wrapping as a beginner, just creating loops and connecting the glass beads, non-precious beads and semi-precious stones. So now I was moving into semi-precious stones, and mixing them and just experimenting as a designer. That's another of one of the first few pieces that I created. So also the last point is I also upcycle. I've created upcycled designs, and I've worked with various stylists in the past with my upcycled pieces and handmade pieces. I'm currently signed with fashion agency Fashion Crossover London, and they're an amazing agency that have helped to develop my exposure as a designer, and they really motivate me and encourage me to grow and expand, and to be seen. And after being forever grateful to God, I'm thankful for the experience with them of having people see my designs in editorials, magazines. Have been in various editorials in Europe as well as UK, and you know, this has really helped me as a designer. So I'm so grateful for the agencies that I've been connected with, like Fashion Crossover London and Events Savo. I'm really thankful for the experience I've had with them. So some of the pieces that I've had with the agencies is the upcycle pieces, and this is one of them. This is a headpiece that I made from various materials. You can see the top of it there, and then it goes down into the actual headpiece. There it's got various brooches, and I've used metal rods, tubing to give it texture, and various feathers, all different sizes and textures. So that's a headpiece that it's been in various editorials in the past, and yeah, I love this headpiece. It's very, I like it because it's quite glamorous. So that's another one. Lastly, I created this headpiece. This was originally just a hat, normal hat, but I upcycled it and created this with the chain, giving it lots of personality with the feathers. And yeah, it's got the netting and large beading like a button. And yeah, so I created that. I upcycled that hat and created something very, very wearable. Yeah, so I do a lot of upcycling also. Yeah. So that was basically just to give you an idea to some people who may not have looked at other of my videos. Just gives you an understanding of my background from St. Martin's and from Holt's Academy, Hatton Garden, that you can start from any stage, your craft, your skill to go in a certain direction, that you have to meet certain milestones. If you just want to do it for relaxation, for a hobby, it's very beneficial, it's very relaxing, and it's very rewarding seeing a finished piece, seeing a created design, like I created this ring from wax and had it plated in yellow gold. So pieces like this, it's very motivating knowing that I started just from something like this, this bracelet, and the Brazilian beads and sequins at Selfridges and Co, and to grow and to expand and to now become part of growing as a designer. This video is to encourage other people that you can start from any level, any stage, and you don't have to feel you have to reach certain stages of development. You can grow at your own pace and just enjoy the process. The process of jewellery making and designing is so rewarding and beneficial that I hope you find, even if it's in any other craft or artistic endeavour, I hope you find your path. And if you've already found it, if you have any questions about how you could grow, and any questions about, you know, studying, or because I've taught jewellery making in primary schools to mothers. In the past, I've taught you know, how to make jewelry. So if you have any questions, I'm excited and hopeful to hear from you, and do like and subscribe, and do follow me. And I'd love to speak to you in the future. Look forward to hearing from you. So thank you for watching today. All the best from BiblosGlasgow Jewellery. Thank you very much. Bye.